Hey guys, welcome back on the Packard. So last you saw, we got her running and I have some concerns. Let me show you. So some of the concerns I had was, well, everything runs and idles fairly well. However, we have pretty large exhaust leak in the front and definitely in the rear. Also noticed this manifold vacuum tube hooked to nothing. I'll have to research and figure out what that's supposed to go to. But in the interest of sealing the exhaust and making her nice and quiet, I figure I'll take all this off to clean it and get the bore scope and take a peek inside the cylinders. And if I'm going to do that anyway, I might as well rebuild the carb. Doesn't really need done, but if I'm taking all this off anyway, couldn't hurt. So that's one concern. Another one was we did fill the block with 2 gallons of vinegar, got her running, got all that stuff circulating to get all the scale and all the yucky rust and everything out of there as much as we could. And we did that. That was nice. And the intention also while doing that was to warm the oil up and get it warm so it would, you know, get all the yuck out of the engine. So we drained that, and after the engine got good and hot and we drained the oil, the oil was not warm like the vinegar and the engine, and that was concerning. And that makes me think that the oil is not circulating well. So all these little this is the filter, that's the oil filter, and this is more or less your crankcase breather. But anyway, all these copper lines that go to, there's your dummy oil sensor, and this, you know, out of the block goes in through there, goes to the top. Anywho, something's plugged, I imagine, because it was cold and it shouldn't have been. And I should have hooked up an oil pressure gauge, but I didn't. But I figure some of that's plugged, so I figure I'll take all of that off and either, you know, run a coat hanger through it or something to that effect. This is Rorschach, everyone. Anyway, so let's start taking stuff apart. So I'm under here removing the exhaust from the exhaust manifold, and she's a lot looser than I would have expected. Those bolts weren't very tight either. And you follow it down to the muffler and she's all crunched and folded over. Sorry, it's hard to see under here. But plan now is to snip that, get the muffler and the forward exhaust out, and probably we may reuse that, or we may just get a glass pack. That could sound really cool. So, working on cars never fails to surprise you. Today, got what exhaust was on this car. Looks yucky, but we can fix that, get a glass pack or whatever. But I dumped out the exhaust, and that is a big old pile of cat food. So that's fun. That is wild. See the little fishy shapes. Good stuff. Yeah, no wonder we were having some back pressure issues. More cat food. I have never seen such a thing. Oh my goodness. It's One of the wildest things I've ever seen. Not surprising though. She'd been sitting. I also noticed the heat riser is stuck. No wonder all that back pressure, but that probably saved this engine. If that was open, all those mice that were packing all that cat food in there would have got into the cylinders and pissed all over them and stuck valves and done untold damage. So I think the plan for that is I'm gonna hit that, well, hit it with a torch, let it cool down and see if we can't get her moving. And I think I will piece together that muffler because it seems reasonable. Let me get up here. Because they do fit together. And I got the gross ends off, and so yeah, I feel like I'll just get it turned down for one side and then maybe an adapter if cutting the bad stuff off shortened it too much. Well, yeah, this is a unexpected direction, but you know, it's kind of how it goes when working on old stuff. Okay, so now that we learned that there was like 2 pounds of cat food in the exhaust, I've taken all that stuff off. I put the down tube for the exhaust off, and that is no longer there. So I just want to hear it again, and it should be loud. And we plugged the vacuum leak, so we're just gonna try it again and see if it runs better. I can still feel a little warmth, like little. Damn, that ain't bad. How's our how's our oil pressure? Oh, we got 20. Give it a rev. Yeah, about 25. Not great, but not awful. Okay, well. oil's oil. And that's the old stuff. We put the old stuff back in, just in case. I feel confident I can put the new stuff in though. Oh no, that's idle right there, baby. What do I do with that flathead? There you go. Oops. Alright, well she's getting hot. Let's shut it down. Proof of concept. Nice. So what did we learn from this experience? Well, I learned that mice can definitely be a huge issue. And I also learned that I am glad I did not remove all of this, because anybody who's wrenched on exhaust manifolds knows that those bolts can be a real pain to get out. I also didn't rebuild the carb because, well, all our back pressure issues coming out of here, there, and even out of the PCV, the oil fill tube, was because the exhaust was completely plugged. Yeah, and I did get a new extensions, welded those suckers on, and got me a nice downturn, because you know, who wants to run exhaust clear behind an axle and everything? That's just fine with me. But yeah, she's nice and quiet. We got all the RPMs, whereas before in the first starting video we were only getting to about 2,500, and I had no idea that there were, you know, there's a pile of cat food in there. It's wild. But anyway, she does run very nicely now, and so I reckon the next thing for this is the clutch and brakes. I have to figure that out. So thanks for hanging out with us. Shout out to Danton and Sawyer. Thanks for supporting the channel and watching our videos. Stay tuned.